Well, hello again. It's my third Fireside chat in 3 weeks. I never thought I'd be the spokesmodel, spokesperson for my store this way. Welcome to the Electric Avenue den, as it were. Uh, it feels like a den lately because I'm pretty much the only one here. So, uh, just checking in with all of you, just to make sure you're all doing well. Every week, the news gets bleaker, as predicted. So it gets quieter in here, as I predicted. Um, I mean, we are, in effect, closed. The door is locked. We are not really doing anything um, that I would consider nefarious. So, um, what I want to do is really reach out and thank those of you who've placed internet orders. I know that was like an entirely kind of new thing for us to just jump in and do in a crisis. No time like that. And also the people who like were sort of saying like, "Hey, can you get me this or whatever? Can I reserve that? Have you hold it? Do like takeout at the door, pretty much. We don't have any contact, but at least you get what you want and run off with it." Um, I really, really appreciate that. I think that really speaks to the kind of customers that we have. Patrons, I should refer to you as patrons at this point, for the many years of dedication, really, that some of you have just it's hard to put into words. It becomes more like a family in a way than a typical customer employee based relationship. So anyway, I've gone down that path before. You can watch my old videos. You can look at the old video to the first one I described. You can reach me 610-692-3600 is the phone. Electric Avenue Music WC at gmail.com is the email address. Send a Facebook message. I'll find it some way. I'm checking them all. So and I've had to become all of a sudden a packing machine because people ordering stuff online, I got to get used to doing that. And that's been a learning curve, I think, too. It's had some bumps, but it's been okay. So, anyway, I just hope you all are doing well and out there stitching up your masks diligently right now. Um, I kind of had to joke because I think over the years I've given out hundreds of masks for promotional, or not masks, but bandanas for promotional events. Um, and it's just ironic that now I was looking around for one and I could not find a single bandana in this place. So, oh well. I guess I'll be putting a napkin together or something. I don't go out much anyway, so hopefully it doesn't come to that. Although I know we're all supposed to be doing that. And at this point, I can't think of the last time I set foot in a big store. Maybe that is a good thing. Anyway, we're sort of kind of coming up against all these challenges right now with government assistance. That's kind of what I think everybody's sort of looking into this effect. So it's going to be, I don't think the government's just going to step up and hand things out to people. I kind of have a slightly mm, pessimistic view of that. So we'll see what happens. We're going to try to see what we can do. Anyway, I just want to kind of name check a few things that happened this week. Obviously, we lost Bill Withers, which was not even to coronavirus, and that was tragic. I like a lot of Bill's music, and I think my favorite song was "Use Me," which is one that doesn't get name checked quite as often as "Ain't No Sunshine" or "Lean on Me," or even "Just the Two of Us" that he did with Grover Washington Jr. But that's a great song. Ellis Marsalis, I mean, that was coronavirus related, and what a loss. I mean, he is old, but what a legend and a terrible way to go. And I mean, he had has legendary jazz musician children. So what he did for the music world is incredible. Wallace Roney is somebody that doesn't get spoken about a lot, but 59 from Philadelphia, jazz trumpeter that played with Philadelphia Brass when he was in his teens. Studied with Clark Terry, Miles Davis, and Dizzy Gillespie. I mean, went to Berkeley up in Boston, and then of course Adam Schlesinger, which is probably just the saddest story of all. 52, Fountains of Wayne. I think a lot of people know his theme and some of the songs he wrote for That Thing You Do, the Tom Hanks movie. My personal favorite Adam Schlesinger stuff is the stuff he did with Ivy. It was sort of his retro pop trio. Um, Dominique was their lead singer. They hadn't made a record in a while, but they were sort of like a throwback to kind of lounge, 60s lounge, but a little more pop rock sensibilities, a little more alternative than that. Really good stuff. Anyway, so tragic and a fairly young age. So that really does kind of bring it home. I think for it did for a lot of people. Um, and so we have had human toll with this now. Obviously, the economic toll I've already mentioned. So I start asking myself the question: when will people feel comfortable entering an actual retail store again? I mean, you see a lot of people in, I'm sure at like grocery stores and stuff like that. I mean, I see them on the road packing into those places. And you think, like, well, how much, care is going into that situation? But, this is a smaller store and smaller space. So I have to be mindful of these things. And, um, I don't want to make it so people have to come in wearing gloves, masks, and having hand sanitizer stations in every corner. But that may be the new reality for a while if it comes to that. No mask, no entry. I don't know, but it's going to remain to be seen what effect that has on Record Store Day because that's still scheduled for June 20th, and I have a feeling like it might not stay there if the Olympics get canceled and moved to a next year. You would think that Record Store Day might actually get shoved back a little bit further. I mean, it might be just wise to just have one in the fall instead of having like another one on Black Friday. But I don't know. I don't make those decisions. I do know that most of the stuff that was on the list is still scheduled to be coming out for whenever this event is. They said they were going to add a few things. What I'm considering maybe doing, I don't know what sort of plans they have in mind. It might just be a situation where you have to look at the list and tell us what you want in advance somehow, and you get like a number or some kind of place in line depending on when your reservation time or whatever comes up. And then, all of that stuff might be taken care of at the door, like make your payment and then someone hands your bag to you and, it's picked with gloves or something. I don't know. It's going to be a challenge, but, we'll make it work. We'll try to do what we can. We just don't want to have, obviously, too much human interaction until we know that things are better. Um, the unfortunate thing with that is that Record Store Day is a great time for people to come into the store and see all of the stuff that's here. And if you look on the Facebook page at the top, you saw a Shop Now button, probably, and that takes you to our Discogs page, which is a place that you can shop now. The only thing that I have there really mainly is like new vinyl stuff that's in shrink wrap that's never been opened or I may be adding a few things to that are sort of like rarer, interesting items, I suppose. But there's a lot more that I actually have in the store that is not on that page. So that is one reason I'm saying, encouraging you to go ahead and if you have questions, send them in and I'll research that, see if I have something. Um, you never know. There's there's a lot that's not on there. It just takes a lot of time. I'm kind of conflicted about putting everything on there because then that means I'm managing two inventory systems when things sell, and that can get a little bit dicey. I can easily see where you'd forget to remove things and whatever. Um, so, just briefly, things that are coming out. The Strokes are still scheduled for next week. I guess it's happening. There was a new Fish album that premiered streaming the other day. We haven't really heard anything about the physical street date for that yet. There was mention of April 17th, but I don't know if that was the original streaming date and physical date or what's going on with that. Fiona Apple is another one that has mentioned moving the physical date. I think it's just streaming April 17th. Lady Gaga and Willie Nelson still haven't really confirmed what dates their albums were bumped to. Obviously, Willie just turns 87 today. Happy birthday, Willie. You shouldn't be on the road and around a bunch of people right now. So, who would think the man has like gotten to 87 years old and now he's got problems being around people? Um, that's unfortunate. But yeah, his new record is supposed to be out soon. And I don't know if there's any. Oh, I noticed that Margot Price was delayed from May until July now. So I don't know if they're doing that with Jason Isbell or not. Lucinda Williams is supposedly still coming out later this month. So, and I think she worked with some of the people that she did Car Wheels on a Gravel Road with, what, like 22 years ago? 23 years? It's been a long time. Anyway, she's made a lot of records. So that's just some sort of brief overview. As far as the store goes, my hours have changed a little bit. So I'm usually in here 11 to 5 most days. Uh, might want to sort of like give a call or be patient if I don't pick up or answer right away, because I haven't been staying later really because of security issues and whatever. So we have an alarm, but I don't want to be hanging out here, the only person or whatever. So anyway, thank you very much for indulging me. Have a great week. What is this, week 4 coming up of Quarantineville? Welcome to the new silence. It's a very bizarre existence. If I were a coronial or a COVID kid, as they're being termed right now, I would never forget that this ever happened. And I would probably want to become a scientist or something to work on ways that we can make sure that this never happens again, at least in any of their lifetimes. So, all right, thank you very much, and keep the music alive. I hope you're spinning lots of vinyl or CDs or cassette tapes, whatever you're spinning at your home right now. And don't hesitate to give me a call if there's something that I can help you with. So, all right, we're okay at this point still. Thank you very much. All right, take care. Bye.